2020 was pretty rough. It was the year of the pandemic and social distancing and quarantining and all of that, but that meant it was also the ultimate year for streaming. Now in 2021, hopefully we're seeing a degree of normalcy creeping back into our lives and we're going to be on the go more. But that means our streaming may be going with us as well. And we're going to be doing that more and more on our phones and tablets. And it uses a lot of data. Now, you might think, hey, I've got an unlimited plan, so I'm all set. What do I need this video for? That's a good question. But you might want to think again about that. Your unlimited plan is sweet, but there are still a few things you need to think about. So when it comes to streaming on the go, we've got 3 things we're going to talk about today. Let's dive in. Thanks for joining me today, everybody. If you enjoy this video or if it's helpful to you, don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, now the first thing that we need to consider is that data consumption matters, and nothing uses up more data than streaming video. The more you stream, the more data you use. It's science. So this is the first thing you have to consider, especially if you're on a metered plan, but even on unlimited plans as well. We'll come back to that in a second. Let's start with your metered plans. Let's say you have a data allowance of, say, 6 gigabytes a month. How long will it take you to hit that cap? Well, if you're streaming on Netflix, let's use that as our example because it's pretty common, the default settings will have you using about 1/4 gig every hour, give or take. So with 6 gigs of data, that's 24 hours of streaming over the course of the month. Sort of. Don't forget, even though video takes up the most data, it's not the only thing that takes up data. You're sharing that data pool with all of your emails and games and file sharing and Instagramming and TikToking and so on, whatever it is you do online. So yeah, that doesn't really leave much room for streaming time. But what about your unlimited data plans? Well, you're in much better shape here, but don't rush to crank up your playback quality just yet. Unlimited mobile plans have something that's often referred to as a soft cap. This means that while your data is unlimited, once you hit a certain amount of data usage in the month, you get bumped down a tier in importance, and you'll be the first one to see your speeds slow down during busy hours. Now, usually that soft cap is pretty high. Verizon, for example, sets theirs at 50 gigabytes. That's a lot more than the 6 gigabytes from our previous example. Still, it's something to keep in mind before you crank your video quality up to 1080p, which would have you using nearly 2 gigs an hour. Yikes. Now, speaking of which, this is the second thing that you should know about streaming on the go: how to adjust your playback quality. Because the lower the quality, the more you can stream. Now, hang on a second, I can hear you saying, I don't want to watch crappy video, and I understand that. I agree with it. Just remember that if you're watching on a 6-inch phone screen, video quality matters a lot less than it does on your 65-inch flat screen. Now, before you yell at me in the comments, I didn't say that it doesn't matter, just that it matters a lot less. 4K is definitely unnecessary in most mobile situations, and even 1080 is probably overkill when you're just watching old Fresh Prince reruns on the bus or whatever. Most apps will default you to 720p, which is just fine on a phone. And depending on what you're watching, you might even get away with adjusting downward to the lowest quality, usually 480p. That would take you from 1/4 gig per hour in usage to about 1/7 gig per hour. So now you can stretch your data a little further. Finally, with all this talk about data usage and streaming quality, the third thing to know about streaming on the go is that you can download your movies and shows. Sometimes. The idea is that while you're at home on your Wi-Fi connection, you can download stuff that you know you'll want to watch on the road or on the plane or whatever, and save yourself from using that data on your 4G or 5G connection. And that's great, as far as it goes. But there is one catch here. Downloadable content is a premium feature of streaming. As a rule, if you're paying for the streaming service, there's a good chance you'll be able to download stuff off of it. So Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, Prime Video, and so on, yes, download away. But once you get into the free stuff, Tubi, Crackle, the free tier of Peacock is another one, not so much. If you use those on the go, you're going to be using your data plain and simple. But there you have it. Number 1, keep track of your data consumption. Number 2, adjust your playback quality as needed. And number 3, be aware that downloading is a premium feature. Once you've got those rules down and under your belt, watching streaming content on the go is really a fun part of cord cutting in general. Now, I want to know if you have any other questions about streaming on the go, or if you're a streaming veteran and you made it to the end of this cord cutting 101 video. Did I miss anything? Hit the comments, let me know if you have any questions or comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.